So hello friends, Kuyan here, and I have a bad day today. Fortunately, I failed one of my subjects in my school. But what's the good thing about not failing? The video we're reacting today. But yeah, friends, I actually feel sad about that. But we're just here, for the reaction of the video, and this is gonna be exciting because this is going to be like technology. This is gonna be a new stuff that I'm going to react. I've been using like Linux and stuff. As you can see, I use Linux Mint. It's actually very crazy how I like installed Linux in my system, because usually like my entire Windows got destroyed because of Linux, because I RMRF everything. Yeah, a very long story, but yeah, before I'm going to play this, friends, hopefully you can leave a subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's usually what I'm always asked here, and thank you for all your support for doing that, and let's get right to the video.
Arguably, there can be no perfect Linux PC, but what we can build is the perfect Linux PC for the creator of Linux, who...
There can be only one.
Oh my god.
Or, hear me out, you guys could just build a PC together.
Oh, okay.
That could work.
That could work.
For the folks too young to catch the Highlander reference, the joke is that we are both Linus, and this can only end with one of us losing our heads. My mind is blown, so maybe that counts? Guys, when I shot my shot asking the original Tech Linus to come and do a collab with us, I had no idea what he'd say. I mean, he's kind of a big deal, known for minor contributions to modern technology, like Git.
Oh yeah, he also made Git. Oh my god, Git is so amazing. Like, I've been downloading Docker stuff. I've been like downloading like even like Albert, like here, for searching stuff like on like Linux and stuff. It's actually amazing how Git is free. Like, holy shit, these things are free. What?
And the Linux kernel.
Yeah, what?
But he's here! The granddaddy of the operating systems that power everything from the Android phone in your hand to data centers around the world to, more recently, your new gaming PC. All thanks to the incredible work of open source developers and corporate sponsors like Valve. And I get to build a computer with them and ask him some of your questions!
And you think I'm the awkward one?
Sorry. Look, I know that fangirling does make you a little bit uncomfortable.
Yes.
But you are here right now in my studio, and this is so cool. So I'll tell you what.
It's kind of crazy, like they didn't have this collab before.
Sure. If you could just quickly sign my copy of this, and then I'll settle down, I promise.
Oh.
Okay.
He has a book.
How cool is this, you guys?
I never actually read that book.
He made it out to fake Linus from the real one. This is officially more valuable to me than this message from our sponsor.
What a segue.
No. Oh my god, we're gonna skip this, unfortunately. Oops. Oh, that's actually
You
a quick
haven't
ad.
written anything more recent autobiographically, so I went with this and the Wikipedia page. So that's about...
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, this was literally what we talked about earlier, that I'll do anything once, like...
Right.
Come here.
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, okay. No, I enjoyed the writing part. I do want to point out the David Diamond part. I actually wanted him to have the same font size as my name, but
really?
The publisher said no.
They were right.
It was very much collab.
It's very interesting. Like, there's a little bit of story about like how he made like a lot of stuff. Like, my god.
He made that very clear in the parts the italicized parts that are kind of his version of the telling of the story. But I really enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to hopefully asking you questions that are not thoroughly covered by your own autobiographical works. But
from 25 years ago?
I was going to ask you, that is one of my questions, is do you feel as detached from what you wrote then as I might be from something that I wrote when I was 19?
I actually don't remember what I wrote.
Oh, okay. So then you might have forgotten the meaning of life, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's in there.
That's in there.
Yeah, it's entertainment, by the way. And sex is a perfect example. It started for survival, and then it became for society,
Did I
and then also entertainment.
Say, yeah, the entertainment part.
No, you were quite explicit in both meanings.
Okay.
Anything once. Anything once, right? We're not done yet, so you still have to do more.
Yeah. I would have the same reaction.
When you say Linus,
I would have the same reaction there.
just to clarify, say a false Linus or something. Fake Linus, yeah.
Today I can live with that. Now, you did an interview with ZDNet a number of years back about your daily driver
It's kind of crazy, like they have the same name.
computer, which you built yourself, and we actually replicated that build. What did you think of our video?
Oh, the one I never saw?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I knew that was going to happen. And so the next thing I was going to ask you is, what about this video? Are you going to watch this video?
I probably won't because I will be feeling way too self-conscious to actually watch it. But I might have to just because I will probably get emailed comments and then I will have to wonder about the comments. And
I love that comments to you are email.
it's the only media I use. Yeah, I don't do the whole social media thing.
It is kind of interesting. Like I have learned like Linux and stuff, like because they're open source system, they actually like a very interesting like open based like communication and stuff. So they are like you can read like all of the working on Linux too. It's kind of interesting, and I can't believe like Linux. I mean Linus here, the maker of the Linux system itself, like Torvalds. I didn't actually know like he's actually very very angry sometimes. Like he gets angry a lot when it comes to like comments, or maybe they're just like the highlights of his anger or comments that I've been reading. So there might be a bias there.
So
on my end.
it's text for my family or email for everybody else.
Right, so I can text you?
You actually can text me now, yeah.
That's actually pretty cool. So you know what? Even though I am not
It's kind of crazy though, because if you're like a famous person, it's hard to like keep in mind with all of your texts and
one
stuff.
of the couple of dozen Torvaldses on the planet,
Right.
I also have a made-up last name. So my mom broke from her family, changed her name, and then got my dad to agree to use her name for me.
Okay.
So I'm also Linus, with also a last name with no genealogy whatsoever attached to it, which I thought was a weird thing for us to have
That
in
is
common.
strange, yeah. I mean, there's literally maybe 20 Torvaldses in the whole world because, yeah, my grandfather made that name up for very similar reasons.
Dude, this is so much fun. You are actually doing amazing.
I don't know, because my real name, friends, is Brisbane, and yes, it's from the city of Brisbane from Australia, because my dad is so bad at naming, and usually that's where, because my uncle usually goes outside, like he's a seaman, so he goes to like city to city transporting and stuff. He basically, at that time when I was born, my uncle was in like Brisbane city in Australia, so that's why my father was so bad at naming, they named me Brisbane, and I kind of like the name actually. It's very very long.
It's nothing like
It's actually from a Scottish person. It's crazy.
that night that
I don't know like how many people still have that name.
you barely slept before your first major speaking engagement.
Right. You really did read the book.
Of course.
Good on you.
Wait,
Doing
what?
amazing. It's nothing like that night that you barely slept before your first major speaking engagement.
Right. You really did read the book.
Of course.
Good on you.
What, you think I would fake it?
I don't know.
Shame.
Shame.
Shame on people who collaborate with people and don't actually read their book ahead of time.
Well, I didn't watch your videos, so.
That's fine. I am the beta Linus today, so I fully accept that that's going to be what happens. What else is going to happen is we are actually going to build a
Actually, like have a lot of like problems when it comes to like Intel shit. Like I didn't know like DaVinci Resolve doesn't work on Intel. It's actually crazy because my laptop is Intel, so I never even like got to use DaVinci Resolve, which is actually my purpose of like editing videos like this. But today I still like use Kden Live. That's the only thing that unfortunately works. But I usually always prefer DaVinci Resolve, man. It just doesn't work
computer
here.
at some point
Crazy.
here. And if you watched our last video, it's fine you didn't, but if you have your computer, then this may be familiar to you. We are starting with an AMD Threadripper, this time a 9960X. This is a 24-core, 48-thread CPU that I imagine is going to absolutely rip it up.
I don't actually know anything about like this CPU stuff, threads and cores. I don't know anything about that because unfortunately I only have like a laptop and stuff, so my knowledge is limited from
For
that.
writing emails.
It's not the only
The only thing I know is like disk and RAM.
thing I do, but I do spend a lot of time actually reading emails more than writing them. Because
You can fit so much email in this bad boy. But of course, you do have some high performance demanding needs, like say, for example,
yeah, I do compile the kernel a lot. So
Compiling kernel is a process of converting human readable code into like machine code. Usually done with a software program, Excel compiler, translate into.
it's
Basically, you're turning
part of
codes,
my
like written codes like C++ or anything like that, and then you compile it.
test requirements that when I merge other people's code, because I don't code myself very much anymore, one of the things I do between every single merge is compile the whole kernel with every module I can. And that's where you want something fairly powerful.
And I mean, I'm sure, NVIDIA is probably working on a way to make code compilation GPU accelerated, but is CPU still the way to go?
Yeah, and I can use as many cores as...
I wonder like if he ever will use like NVIDIA to like on how he, give the finger about them.
they can give me.
Why did we cheap out on him?
Oh, because people ask me what I want. And I was like, I don't want the crazy high end because I want it to be quiet and reliable and not like insane in any particular direction. So
you know what? We actually take a very similar approach with our editing workstations. The writers or whatever, they can play around with the latest generation stuff. Yep. They're always one step down. Because
for me, if I have like a computer, I don't actually care about noisy and stuff as long as like it's always like powerful. Because I would love to like test out like a lot of AI and stuff, like local AI within my like system and stuff.
Just want it to work.
I think I've never...
Unfortunately, I only like use it for like grammar corrections, so it's gonna be very interesting. But I would love to like have ideas, generating ideas, like diversifying ideas and stuff. Like it'll be very interesting, like because I would love to use it as like storytelling and stuff.
I've always wanted to have something that just is reliable, and that's to me, I mean, that comes first. It needs to...
This is why I also use like Linux Mint, because it just works and you don't need to do anything. And this is why I also like very concerned about using CachyOS. That's why I'm also like planning to use that someday, but still like having doubts about it.
Something I can trust and work with, and then within that envelope it needs to perform well and not be crazy.
But it is still crazy though, because I didn't test CachyOS within like a virtual machine and stuff, so that I can like test and play around it. So I would actually do that. I only like installed Kubuntu and I think and Windows on my virtual machine. That's basically it. I would love to test out like CachyOS on my virtual machine.
Edge.
And he's letting me build it.
Yeah, that may be. Let's see.
I'm having way too much fun today. This is like the best day I've had in the office in like a very long time. Seriously. Okay, I'm sorry. I said I would stop. Okay, I'm done. Choosing a motherboard for Linux is pretty straightforward. You want all of the usual things you want out of a motherboard. Nice, robust cooling, good power delivery, all the I/O that you want, but of course you want to make sure that all of the onboard components are supported by Linux. One of the big things that we looked for in a platform for you was support for ECC memory as well.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about why that's so important?
I don't understand why people don't require ECC in their machines, because being able to trust your machine is like the #1 thing. And without ECC, your memory will go bad. It's not a question of when,
really?
It is a question of when. I mean, it just might take a few years. So when I built the machine you apparently shot a video around, I could not get ECC, and I said, whatever, I'll get reasonable RAM, and it worked fine. It worked fine for a couple of years. And then 2 years goes by, and I start seeing oopses. I start seeing segmentation violations. I'm obviously doing this on modern Linux kernel that is being developed right now. And my first reaction is, oh no, we have a bug. And I spent days on trying to figure out what the bug was, until I just realized, no, it wasn't a bug at all. It was my machine was not reliable.
So for you, this is not a question of, I have to reboot my system.
I didn't know that the computer can also like destroy itself, even though like the code, you even thought that the code is like getting some errors and stuff.
Because
here in my laptop, man, like I've been like trying to debug, like trying to really fix like DaVinci Resolve here 4 months. 4 months, bro. And until I realized, and then I searched, it's like, oh my god, it doesn't work because you need AMD or NVIDIA, and my laptop unfortunately have Intel.
Game crashed.
Correct.
This is a question of, I am working on software that millions of people around the world rely on. I need to know.
Right. I absolutely need to trust my machine. And I mean, it's a big thing, and I'm convinced that all the jokes about how unstable Windows is and blue screening, I guess it's not a blue screen anymore, a big percentage of those were not actually software bugs. A big percentage of those are hardware being not reliable. And I mean, in the
That's kind of crazy though, because Windows is like so advanced, I guess, and like I guess I guess the OS in itself is like very old, even though it can't like work on the newer hardware and stuff in today's world. It's kind of very interesting
gaming
because it's very, very weirdly slow. It's very inefficient too.
community, you also do overclocking, so you get extra unreliability from that. You will find
And this is why I don't use like Windows anymore.
articles that talk about how DDR has ECC built in, but no,
it doesn't.
It really does not. Some of them have ECC on the chips themselves, but then if something goes wrong between the DIMM and the CPU, you will never know. So
I wonder if like ECC are like, very helpful for gaming and stuff and other stuff, other than like coding and stuff, or for developers.
you need to have end-to-end ECC.
I actually think that's one of the more egregious marketing claims of our current era here right now.
I find that so irritating. It's a thing with me. I do not touch machines that don't have ECC.
Well, this one does.
Interesting.
Thanks, Kingston, for sending this over. I know you
I guess I will add my ECC on my computer someday if I can even like afford it.
hate voicemail.
Yeah.
That's another thing that we can bond over. I hate.
Well, I don't hate voicemail as much as I hate Zoom calls and things like that. I would not have gone through COVID if I had to like Zoom call every day like some people I know, because I would have I mean, there's no way.
Maybe don't include that part, but.
See, I must have done this, but I don't remember.
Oh, wait, why am I building your computer? You know how to build computers.
I don't build computers anymore. Literally, it's 5 years since I built my last one. If you want me to build something, this is what I built. I brought it for you.
We're getting show and tell?
We're getting show and tell. This I built.
Hold on. Okay, let me try and figure it out. Hold on. Okay, it has a button. It has a dial. It has power.
Oh, it's a guitar effects pedal. It's a bad one, don't get me wrong. It's a horribly bad one. You'd never use this in real life.
Right.
But
It's kind of weird like how similar they are in faces. As you can see, like he's the younger Linux and he's like the older version of him. And while he's the younger of Torvalds, it's kind of crazy like how familiar their faces are.
I enjoy designing these things. And I actually solder these small pieces myself. I built this at home.
Interesting.
Oh, these do help you see better. But do these make me look smarter?
I can't tell them apart.
Do I
now.
look like the smart Linus now?
Like they even have like almost the same hair. That's actually kind of interesting.
No.
Now tell me this. Is there footage of you
I guess he has more of a blue eyes, and like Linus Tech Tips have more of a brown
using
eyes.
this and showing what it sounds like?
Oh, hell no. That's never going to happen.
That's never-
I don't actually play guitar.
Oh, there you have it. Soon to be available from Linus Torvalds guitar
I mean,
accessories.com.
This is like the LTT store, except bad quality.
Oh, did we get him some stuff? Does he have a care package? By the way, there's no pressure to take any of the stuff from the store. If you don't like it, you just say you don't like it, and we'll work hard. We'll make something better for you later. And this is not an endorsement in any way. It's just a gift. He doesn't have to say anything nice. In fact, you don't even have to look at it right now.
No, it looks like a perfectly cromulent bag.
Now that is a
That's
reference.
an endorsement.
That is a reference that I personally appreciate very much. The next thing we're going to need is some storage. Last time around, you went with a giant 4 terabyte storage drive and ended up using.
Like a few hundred megs out of it, yeah.
So I wanted to ask, okay, why is that?
I'm kind of confused about that. Like, what is the difference between an SSD and a hard drive?
Do you have like a NAS that you use for archival storage, or what's your data storage approach?
Right, no, my data storage approach is I upload it on the internet, and if it's worth saving, somebody else will save it for me.
Clearly, you specifically requested that we have a reference to either Highlander or Mad Max in the.
I mean, like, I don't like have trust about the internet sometimes. That's why I wanted to make my own type of server and just like upload everything there and hopefully like have like quadruple, I guess, redundancies just in case if shit happens,
Intro. So you must enjoy films, but you don't back up anything yourself.
No, and I mean, everybody does video streaming these days. I mean,
Of course.
nobody does.
Nobody downloads Linux ISOs. I mean Linux ISO. I mean,
Even a Linux ISO is whatever, a few hundred megs. How many of those do you have on your computer right now?
Well, let me, depending on the way you mean it. So Linux ISOs is a slang for pirated media.
Oh, see, I am so naive in some ways.
What?
I tried to get him to do the,
Because a lot of like ISO that I download are from like legit website.
excuse me, I'd like to interject for a moment, but he didn't get the reference, or didn't think it was funny, or something.
Both.
I tried, you guys.
If you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, we have a ton of exclusives over on
But I
Floatplane.
don't get that joke.
Oh, see, I am so naive in some ways.
I tried to get him to do the, excuse me, I'd like
Wait, I'd like to interject a moment. What he's referring to as Linux. In fact, yeah, GNU Linux, or I've been recently calling it GNU plus Linux.
to interject for a moment, but he didn't get the reference, or
Oh.
didn't think it was funny, or something.
Both.
I tried, you guys.
If you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, we have a ton of
But
exclusives
yeah, friends,
over on
like the GNU is I think the front end of like, and then Linux is like the back end of like Linux system. So that's why it's called GNU Linux.
Floatplane, including some behind the scenes and even some staff hanging out with Linus to ask him some questions. Go check it out at lmg.gg/floatplane. I mean, I'd like to interject for a moment though. Our community submitted some questions, and you were just talking both about Linux and Git. And they want to know, out of your two most famous brain children, which one are you most proud of?
Oh, Linux by far. I don't
Ah,
think people understand how little I did for Git. I did just the basic initial design, and hey, I'm proud of that. I think
to me, I love the Git more because Git is like a lot of people working a lot of things together. So like almost a community and stuff, and almost like free entirely. It's kind of crazy, and they can collab each other. They're like big companies, small companies, even like individual person, like just a small hobby. It's actually very interesting. That's why I love like Git more than Linux. But unfortunately, I don't use Git that a lot. But I do prefer using a lot of Linux more, and I only use Git if it's convenient enough and stuff, or there's like new applications.
Git does things really well, and the design is good, and so much better than anything that came before it.
Only
that
a little bit proud of it.
There's pride there, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I worked on Git for 6 months. And the moment I found somebody who I felt could take it over, I threw it over the fence and said, you go, right? And Junio has done an admirable job, and he's been working on it for 20 years. I didn't work on it for 20 years. To me, Git was something I needed for Linux, and Linux is my child.
So that's like having a second child so that you could enhance your first child.
I worry about your children
With
sometimes.
spare parts, maybe.
Then why did you have 3, Linus?
Oh,
Literally, I started Git. I never
like the third Linux is like the system.
wanted to do source control management. I felt it was almost as boring as databases. I never want to do databases.
I mean, in the same way, I don't think you ever really wanted to make an operating system, though, did you?
No, operating systems are really interesting. All my computing life, I've done things close to hardware. I'm not a hardware person per se, but I love exploring the interface between software and hardware. And I mean, when I started, that's the only way you could do things. I mean, you got a home PC in 81 or whatever it was, my first one. And there were no abstraction layers.
Right.
If you wrote anything, you wrote it to the hardware. You made it make sounds. You made it print stuff to the screen.
There is a line in here where you say that if someone else had done it right, you wouldn't have felt the need to create Linux. Do you still feel that way?
Yes. Yes. I mean, I'm perfectly happy being lazy, and if somebody else does something better than I, why would I try to recreate that? I needed an operating system, and that's why I started doing it.
Yeah.
But if it hadn't been an
I mean, invention is like, I think the necessity is the mother of all inventions. Yeah, because he really needs something that works for him in the computer and stuff, and like open source. So that's why he made Linux, and it's been the huge thing that runs the world now.
operating system, it would probably have been something else close to hardware.
Right. Speaking of hardware, maybe we should.
But it's kind of weird though, because Unix was also the other thing about Linux. Like there's even like free BSD and stuff. Like kind of make me wonder like why those stuff like didn't get as like famous or most used than Linux.
Should build a computer here for a second. Oh, our cooler. You've talked about this very briefly already, but to you, and this is another Linus thing in common. I love using computers. I hate hearing them.
Oh, yeah.
So we got you an NHU12S TR5-SP6.
To me, it's like I would just put, the CPU on another room with a soundproof, hopefully. But I'm pretty sure that's gonna heat up the entire room immediately. But still, I guess that's like my thoughts about it.
What a catchy name.
I know, they really have nailed down the engineering way of naming things. These guys are pure engineering all day, every day.
This may be very similar to what I have on my, that looks kind of similar. I mean, it's a heat sink. They all look the same.
It's a perfectly cromulent wheel. We didn't feel the need to reinvent it. While I'm installing this, you have said no, never with regards to water cooling.
That sounds stronger than I would have gone. I'm not interested in water cooling mainly because I feel it has the potential to be both less reliable.
The risk there is also like huge. Like just in case, I actually heard like a lot of horror stories about it. Like even just one small leak can actually destroy an entire PC. About like water cooling and stuff is actually very interesting. But the one thing that I would love to make someday is like just have an entire room with a cooling system, and like all of the cooling system will be surrounded for the CPU to just like get in, and all of the single tube where all of the heat will get out. That would be very interesting. Like an entire room just dedicated for cooling your seat, your PC and stuff.
Than regular air cooling. And people have issues with it gurgling, which I find to be a more annoying sound than like a nice big fan that just has a background whooshing sound.
That is very fair. How about the next time we do this?
Yep. I mean, you can prove me wrong.
I'll try you out.
Yeah.
I'll try you out, because what's nice about water cooling is because you can get so much more surface area, you can run the fans barely spinning at all, and some of the pumps really nice, and there's accessories that you can get to hook them up in tandem so you get redundancy. It's like ECC.
But you don't get
cooling.
the redundancy for things growing in your cooling fluids and stuff like that.
You
that's
guys
also
watch our
thing.
videos.
I've seen people with green stuff in there.
Or leaking on your entire server rack.
That's bad too.
Listen.
Yes.
His whole server rack just
There's also like moist and stuff that can also like destroy your PC.
covered.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
My God, the moss on that is gonna be crazy. The fungi is gonna be growing there because of the moist and stuff.
Yeah. I don't.
There's actually like I heard like a story about it. Like there's like science and stuff like where they put like fungi within a computer and computer works about it. But, like I don't know how true that is. I only heard of it as a story.
Don't try to convince you.
Yeah, we're trying to get him back, man.
Yeah, way to go, Elijah.
Yeah. I assume this is a special see-through LTT Tech screwdriver.
You better believe it. What do you think? I just like seeing inside technology and stuff.
Oh, nice strategy.
Oh.
Our community wanted to know what you do to relax.
I read less than I used to, but that's still what I do. These days, I mean, this is part of it. I just design pointless stuff. There's no pressure there. I actually don't think I have a very stressful life.
How much of that do you think is attitude, though? Because you do bring up that as the
The thing that's stressful about me is like my fucking school, man. Like they're like useless projects that I've been doing just for points. Just like summarize my entire school experience.
user base grew, you did feel more pressure.
Right.
When it comes to like unstressful and stuff, I usually like just draw a lot of stuff. I record videos like this. I actually like always have fun about that. I also like read books in the background. Like I have within here in Linux. I actually like installed a voice like called amazing like feature. I think it's like a voice feature, like an AI feature. I think it's called, what is it called? I think it's part of Sherpa. It's part like it's part Piper. It's called Piper. Yes, it's called the Piper from the Piper community from GitHub and stuff. Like it's an AI like voice reading, so I just like use that to read books in the background while I draw art and stuff.
I mean,
It's actually so fun and like so relaxing. I can just like lay down at my back, just drawing like arts and stuff, and just writing stories.
part of it is we have, I wouldn't say perfected, but almost perfected the workflow. We've used the same workflow for the kernel now for 20 years. And it's not just Git, it's the whole release schedule, it's
Oh,
everything
I don't know. They still like work about Git and stuff. I thought they only exclusively work for Linux.
around it. And that means that when you know what's going on and you kind of, it's a predictable workflow, it's no big surprises. That's not stressful. And technical problems are not stressful either because technology you can fix, right? And we're good at that. The main source of stress for me tends to be people. I'm not a people person, famously, right?
NVIDIA, you.
Yeah, that's one.
People are strange and you can't fix people.
I think we're ready for the case.
That's interesting. That's a very interesting insight from. I actually disagree on that. Like, I think there are cases where you can fix people, but I actually love human beings. Like, I love like how random they are. Like, and it's kind of unfortunate because I have no friends, but I actually like love the idea of like being a human being because you're so random. You have your own like stories about yourself. You have your own experience. It's like very interesting. Like you can like, I guess for my side, like I would love to like see the other people's perspective. It's actually very interesting.
In which case,
I'm very empathetic, I guess.
that was terrible. Don't even give
That's so beautiful. In my case, we're going through the casing of the PC
a
now.
reaction for that. I deserve nothing. Elijah, want to hit us with one of our other community questions?
If you could start Linux development all over again, what would you do differently?
So there's two answers to that. One is, now that I know how hard it is, I would never have gotten started in the first place, right? You need to have a certain amount of naivete to do something this big. The flip side of that answer is I would not do a thing differently because it worked so well and it's been such an enjoyable experience. I've been very lucky in my life. I was at a startup for 7 years and I never felt that I was the smartest person in the room, and I never want to feel that, right?
Right.
You want to be surrounded by people more competent than you, right?
Yeah, because that in that case, that's actually very smart by Linux, because if everyone is smarter than you can just like lay back and you can just like let the smart people do the do the hard job, and you know who really is the smart person that way.
Because otherwise, what's the point?
What brought you here?
Well, sometimes it makes you feel good to be the smartest person in the room.
That's a burn on you too.
I'm still hysterical.
The license choice. I still stand by 100%. I love the GPL version 2.
Actually, like shocked. There's actually like a alternative to that, like the MIT. I think it's called the MIT license. This is like what they use, like the GPL license. It's actually like open source stuff where you can just like release and stuff. But the MIT, I think it was called the MIT license. It's actually pretty scary. Like you can make like open source based like software or any type of like stuff, and then you can like make that proprietary to other like systems, so other people can't even like change about it, or they can't like apply it to their own like PCs because it's like hard coded to a specific type of like devices and stuff. It's actually very interesting. I kind of like wonder what this will occur in the future, because this might cause a lot of problems for other type of devices that doesn't work. I think I even like heard like stories about like, you know, the Wi-Fi and stuff, and the Bluetooth stuff in here on Linux are actually like MIT license. It's actually very interesting.
I think it was the right license, and it's still.
Because I actually heard like some OS that exclusively use the GPL license, they have like very bad Wi-Fi or Bluetooth and stuff. So I actually very, very interesting like license problem.
Is the right license.
Now, this isn't one of our planned questions, but have you ever thought about how much people have profited from Linux? Do you have any idea?
No, but I have said.
For sure, like even Elon Musk like use Linux and stuff because, you know, like data centers and stuff, and even like the space stuff. Like I'm pretty sure a majority of NASA might use Linux because they really need a hard performing, computer and stuff, so that they can calculate faster.
That I feel very good about the fact that
Or even like integrating like systems or software for your like robots in like Mars and stuff, or the James Webb Telescope in this case.
that I now have 2 different projects that I started that both created billion-dollar companies.
I think billion is an understatement. At
I
this
mean,
point.
Yes, but I mean,
I'm
clearly
pretty sure trillion, like a lot of companies now are $1 trillion.
people built billion-dollar companies on
I was kind of wonder like what is beyond $1 trillion.
top of both of
Yeah.
my big projects. And some people ask me, doesn't that make you feel bad? And I'm like, no, you're not getting it. That makes me feel really good. Because
Yeah,
that
because
means
you're-
that what I did was worthwhile and meaningful, right?
Yeah,
Does it weird you out a little bit that the
it's like you're creating a world that's a bit better. You make our world a bit better, and it does improve like my lifestyle too, like production wise, like editing videos, drawing stuff, searching the internet. It's kind of crazy like how Linux, the operating system, just improve your life rather than on Windows. Windows is just slow, it just crashes randomly. It's crazy.
largest entity
Not like Linux can also sometimes crash. I did experience it twice here, like everything just like lags and stuff, but you can easily like restart it and just like it works after that. In Windows it's very, very difficult, and it's very, very slow.
known for Git at this point, more broadly in terms of the user base, is owned by Microsoft.
It's strange in a
That is very strange. Like I was actually very like shocked about it. Like there's even like Copilot within it.
historical context,
Right?
but it's kind of funny at the same time.
Right?
How did they even like own an open source like stuff? It's actually very funny too, because Microsoft is like the biggest hater against like Linux. They even like have strategy about it. They even make the Halloween document about it. Like it's like I think the Halloween document is like against like Linux and stuff, and they even like have a strategy of called EEE. Like I think it's like extinguish. I don't know. I forgot about it.
And what I find even funnier is that, so it turns out these days, I think Microsoft makes more money of their cloud
Yeah, their cloud servers which uses Linux.
than they do of like Windows, which is like what I grew up with them being
Yeah, the
known
Windows
for.
behemoth.
because a lot of like Linux and stuff, they're very good at like maintaining like servers, and they're very fast about it too, and very because they don't update a lot, so they are very consistent too from the server side. This is why I actually heard Linux and stuff within computers actually struggle, because they are made for like server and for like internet and stuff. So I'm kind of glad like there's a lot of like other type of Linux OS that can work for not only for server but also like PC like this.
And it turns out the majority of the Microsoft cloud runs Linux.
And even like Linux can also be used on like Android and stuff too.
So
Yeah.
we're friends, right? The rivalry took
It's like a love-hate relationship.
some more time, but that went away too, and I'm very happy with that.
I mean, I think that depends who you ask. Now that Linux is coming in a big way for gaming, there are
gaming.
certainly people at Microsoft.
The good thing is like there's also like Linux you can define it. It's almost like a mold that you can like make it on almost everything, albeit very slow, because there's gonna be bugs and a lot of stuff and about that. But I would love to see like a really improve like Linux. Like I think CachyOS is probably the first part where it's like efficiency. I'm really like an efficient person. Like I really love something that is fast, that is like snappy, and that's why I always fall in love about like the idea of CachyOS. But I didn't still like install it yet. But this is still amazing, man. Like I wonder like if there's like even an more improvement about CachyOS, and like you can have like 1,000 frames per second from all of your video games.
Particularly
Gotta be very, very crazy.
in the Xbox division, who are feeling pretty combative and defensive about that. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I'm obviously not a gamer, so I don't see that part. But
You did make some games.
oh, very bad ones. Yes, no. But I mean, if you're a teenager and you're into computers, you will make a game. I mean, that's what you do.
What, didn't you make one, Linus?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, if you're competent and a teenager and into computers, you make a game.
There are different kinds of
sorry.
competency. I met a girl when I was a teenager.
Fair enough.
Now, you were pretty surprised to see that we had like a product
Fortunately, I don't. Yeah.
lineup, and that is a larger part of our business these days. But I pulled this out to open up a box, and I thought you might like it. This is actually made by another creator team, Evan and Caitlin. Slide up, there you go,
okay.
and then slide it back.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that cute?
I actually know who you were talking about because I
Really?
may not watch your.
What the heck?
Like every other YouTuber you mention, I know them, but
How is that even possible? We share a name.
I've seen your videos too. But you're talking about the guys or the couple who does like they do that pumpkin
Oh, the
thing
resin
every
pumpkin.
year. That's where I know them
Yeah.
from. Yeah.
So this is their product.
You could stab somebody with this, and you'd have fun doing it.
Would you prefer that or the samurai sword?
It's been
But it would take longer, yeah, with that.
it's a very cool thing for me to see others in the creator space kind of parlaying what they learn, sort of doing things with. I see, and I know it's owned by Google, but I see YouTube as almost like like an opening up of knowledge in the
Yes.
same way that open source.
I kind of like, yeah, this is why I also like love YouTube, man. I've been watching YouTube for a very long time. I even like learned how to speak English fluently because of YouTube.
Is that just was not available
Right,
before.
yeah.
And it's very cool to me to see people taking the knowledge they gain from this giant
This is what I love about humanity, man. Like there's a lot of people can collab about something and they can make something beautiful about that individuality or content in collaboration. It's kind of crazy. It's like a mush of like soup of, it's like a fruit salad, like with all of the flavors, you know,
repository and just creating
and everything just works.
things. It's
Even though how chaotic it is.
So I wanted to shout them out because I haven't actually talked about
Oh,
this
that's
yet. I
sweet.
bought one. They offered to give me one. I said, you know what? That's so cool.
And the next time I would love to buy a balisong, also known as like a flip knife. Someday, like I would love to train myself, like like flipping those like butterfly knife. Yeah, and sometimes they're called butterfly knife. I didn't actually know that actually made in the Philippines. So
I
yeah.
can't.
So there are like other accounts that is also made in France, but I'm pretty sure it's majority made here in the Philippines. It's actually illegal here in the Philippines to own one of those.
Take it from you. I'll buy one. I guess
But hey, I want to be a gangster.
this goes in here now. Elijah, do you want to hit us with another community question?
Was there ever a moment that you got so close to just walking away and being done with developing Linux?
No. I mean, there's been many moments where, like, I walk away and I just say that, hey, I'm fed up. It might be some technical problem that I've just been hitting my head against the wall, or it might be like just somebody who annoys me, and I'll walk away.
I'd love to design like a computer like this, but the heat will go up because, you know, heat will like hot air will always like want to rise up while cold air will always go down. So that's why I want to like invent like a vertical way to, I guess, transfer like cold air and hot air above,
And I'll take a
almost like a chimney and stuff.
long, warm bath and read a book, because I'm like, I need to relax. I need to just walk away from this. But it's always with the knowledge that, hey, tomorrow morning I'll be there, fresh as roses.
Okay, we're going to go a little deeper now. I do think that when you do things that are consequential, the other things can start to feel inconsequential and therefore boring. Do you feel that if you reach the stage where you don't feel needed with Linux, that it'll be very difficult?
I hope not. I mean, I definitely don't want to be the guy who holds on to something. And I've always said that if somebody better comes along, I'll step aside. And I really hope that's true.
Okay, well, I wired up your
But it is very scary though, because the future development of like Linux have been turning into Rust now, and you know Linux is like primarily coded in C. So for sure, like some of the C coders out there are now getting older and you know hardly to maintain the Linux kernel right now. I'll be very interested to see like what is the development of future Linux
bottom fan.
when it's come to like coding and stuff too.
And maybe now is a good time for us to talk about your case. So this, the fractal torrent, was chosen because it has two gigantor fans in the front. Scandinavian design, that's sort of what they're
Hoping,
known
yeah,
for.
I see there's a mesh there. So
There's a mesh dust filter?
dust will not go in.
Oh, this is not on our scheduled questions, but cats or dogs?
Both. I don't count cats and dogs even as pets. They become family members. Dogs maybe even more so than cats, even though I started out with cats. But then you have pets like rats and gerbils and fish. Oh, fish aren't even pets. Fish are pests. I don't understand people who do aquariums.
But we're not judging.
No, I mean,
No,
you be you.
I kind of disagree. Like I love fish more than anything because the aquarium is just very peaceful to like watch in the background, I guess, in my opinion. And my dad loved like fishes too.
It's not
I don't know why my dad is really, really into fish.
a Linus thing to be judgmental.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
No, we've had everything. Rats were great.
I've heard they're awesome.
They are. I mean,
Like,
the biggest problem with the rats was that they only lived for 3 years, and that broke my daughter's heart. And she said, never again, because they don't live long enough to.
and they bond and they're so social.
They are very social. They're fun. They're nice creatures.
Did you know that
Interesting.
Alberta, Canada is the only place on Earth, other than, I believe, the Antarctic continent, where there are no rats?
I think Canadians might be overly proud of this because maybe it's because even rats don't want to live.
That's crazy.
Sorry. Yeah, you need to cut that out. But
Oh no, that's hilarious. I love it. I love it.
What a
See,
Canadian
what I was teeing myself up for was they were eradicated, but his was better. Okay, I think our next order of business is power. We went very overkill.
okay, I see that. 1600 watts.
That is the Prime TX 1600. Basically,
It's a big box, and it's gonna.
that power is like almost a car battery. Like from the looks of it, it's almost like a car battery.
Fit there.
oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it'll be fine.
That is crazy.
And what we liked about this was you like reliability.
I just recently now learned that the fans are actually vertically like positioned.
12-year warranty, and we both like silence, and because it's so efficient and rated for so much power, that fan is unlikely to ever even spin.
Very good. Yeah, no,
Wow.
power supplies matter. They may not be the sexiest
It's kind of crazy like how big the box is, but the product is so small.
part of a computer, but they do matter.
That's what I tell my wife about my power supply.
Wow.
I'm gonna switch spots with you. I'm gonna.
The good thing is like they've been having fun and just like just trading jokes and stuff.
Whoa, which one's which now? Okay. I couldn't get him to do the I'd like to interject, but can you just stand there for a second and then just point at me?
Yes, the beautiful meme, man. Who is the real Spider-Man?
I'm gonna dub over this.
No. This is for the Spider-Man meme.
I don't do social media, so I don't do the memes.
The Spider-Mans point at each other and they're both Spider-Man. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It'll be great.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to actually build it. Elijah, save me! Hit me with a couple of rapid-fire questions.
Is it pronounced GIF or GIF?
Oh, it's GIF. No.
Yes! Yes!
No, I'm kidding. It's GIF.
Oh, yes, yeah. We have the opposite reaction, but yeah, I call it GIF. I call it GIF, not GIF. But it does make you like, it does makes you wonder, about GIF and GIF.
I actually got this question, not this question, but somebody sent me an email asking me if Git is with a hard G or a soft G, like GIF.
Okay.
And I was like, don't even make that joke.
Okay, hit us with another one, Elijah.
You were talking about it earlier, walking away from Linux briefly. Well, what happens to Linux if you just die?
Wow.
What a weird way to ask that.
That's
Well-
what the community wanted to know.
The traditional question is actually if you get hit by a bus.
Oh,
The
okay.
implication is that I die, but
Okay, can we redo the take then?
No, you're stuck with it now. You asked Linus Torvalds that question. You have to live with that.
No, the community.
Unless
did.
you just die.
Well, wait.
you know what? We have such a healthy development community. It's It's ridiculous. Most other open
That's pretty existential, actually. I actually love existential questions. It's kind of very weird for me. Yeah, because I'm still very young, like 20-ish years old, 23 years old. Man, I'm going to be 30 now. But yeah, I actually love like existential questions
source projects have like
when it comes to like this. But yeah, this is actually very blunt.
a couple of people involved. If it's a healthy community, they might have tens. We have 1,000 people involved in every single release, and we do releases every 9 months, every 9 weeks. If I fall down and die, or my plane crashes on the way back home from
Oh, I don't want to be responsible for that. Can you
Linux will
imagine the
be
headline?
fine.
Oh,
That would kill my reputation completely.
Well, but then you can do the intro with the swords and make it really impressive, right?
Oh, lordy.
There can be only one, and I killed the other one. On the internet, nobody has good taste, so it would become a meme, I'm sure.
Is this you approving
that's a very good wisdom.
that we can do that then?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If I'm dead, I won't care.
Okay. Speaking of you're dead and won't be able to, I guess, consent to it.
What, necrophilia now?
No, I'm sorry. It's not where I was going.
Jesus!
That's not where I was going. I was going to go into the topic about AI and generative AI. Is it a bubble or is it a computing revolution?
I mean,
you think
clearly,
it's both?
I think firstly it's a bubble and then it's a revolution, I think.
clearly both.
Yeah, it's clearly both. But first, the bubble has to happen because I actually seen a lot like, especially the best case scenario of this is like the dot-com bubble, where a lot of people are really excited about, there's gonna be big wide internet, there's gonna be people all around the world, there's gonna be websites that people are going to like really love, and then all of the investors are like investing in almost like shoot to the moon, and then like it then like went over, like Netscape died, Yahoo like changed forever. After that, like it's never been the same. But there is one thing that is very interesting from that. Like I think there's only 2 companies that survived that and actually grow into the bigger giant today, and I think that is like Amazon and Google, and I'm pretty sure eBay too. Like those like companies are the only one that actually grow from the internet because they have this like edge within the market. So it's actually a very interesting like history and economy and stuff. And this is what I also think about like when it comes to the AI stuff. And I think Google will win this. I think Microsoft have the weaker advantage when it comes to the AI bubble in here. And I even think like I think it's like ChatGPT. I'm pretty sure it's also very weak when it comes to like Gemini. I think this is only like my prediction, I guess, but don't quote me anything on this. I just like feel that Google is really have like a little bit of an edge in the AI warfare.
It's clearly a bubble, and at the same time,
Yeah.
it's very interesting, and I think it will change society, and I think it will change
Every technology always have like a bad fire in the beginning, and will hopefully will be useful afterwards.
how most skilled jobs get done. At the same time, I don't think
That's also the thing too. Like it also like destroy a lot of jobs, unfortunately.
it's as revolutionary as people make it out to be.
I want to specifically talk about AI with respect to coding and particularly vibe coding. What are your thoughts on an AI?
I think that's what the thing I'm really like afraid about like AI and stuff is usually the data tracking and stuff. Like if you are a company and you can make a lot of money about people's data, and especially like targeting about ads and stuff, that I can see the future of AI doing that, because you always try to follow the money in this case, like for example Google and stuff when it comes to like advertisement and like websites, and even Amazon selling their own products. If you see like how can you use AI to make a lot of money, and I'm pretty sure I can see like data and stuff like data tracking, very very scary.
AI model being trained on the work of real people, like in the artistic community, rightfully angry.
I'm actually an artist. Like I draw art and stuff. I write stories. It's actually very awful in our side of like community.
That the AI never would have been able to do anything without the large-scale theft of
But I do use a lot of AI when it comes to coding. Unfortunately, I'm a vibe coder.
So what is your take on that?
To me, I actually generally want to learn about coding, but I only use vibe coding when it comes to like projects, not art projects, projects for my school because I also learn like technology and stuff. I'm part of the IT and stuff when it comes to my course in college. I usually just use vibe coding because it's just easier, and all of the projects in my school are just ridiculously crazy that I don't even like have the time to learn a lot of them.
I'm like, that's reality. Deal with it. That genie is out of the bottle.
Yeah.
You're not getting it back, and you're not getting it back whether you are a photographer who's out of work. Those things are gone, right? Because you can fake pictures so much better now. Or you're
I guess there's still a lot of limitation when it comes to AI. I'm pretty sure there seems like very bad when it comes to like art, but they are very good at making like realistic-ish art. But yeah, it's very, very awful when it comes to as an artist, I'm really like we are really coping here very hard when it comes to these type of like AI and image generation and stuff.
a programmer that has to learn to deal with a new reality. I think actually on the programming side, we're in a fairly good spot. I really think that AI will be a tool and it will make people more productive. I think that vibe coding is great for getting into programming. I think it's going to be a horrible thing to maintain, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. So I don't think programmers go away. You still want to have the people who know how to maintain the end result. I'm a huge believer in AI. I'm not a huge believer in the whole things going on around AI. I find the marketing and the market to be sick and twisted, and there is going to be a crash, and it's going to be ugly.
Not financial advice?
No.
Yeah, not financial advice. Yeah, all of I saying from this, video are not financial advice. This are all of just hoo-ha and just my prediction and stuff. And this is not like there's no finance in here, okay? It's just a reaction.
Financial advice.
Speaking of companies
Thanks for the reminder there, Linus.
that are growing exponentially, we opted not for one of their GPUs.
Wow, what a segue. Again,
This,
to be fair, I have to say, I famously was not a huge fan of NVIDIA.
Yeah, this one. Such a classic. Such a beautiful meme too.
yes, that
But
was a thing.
I'm actually like impressed like how Intel and AMD are more like they side more in the Linux community and stuff, and like they have more, I guess, more compatibility with Linux. It's kind of interesting.
AI thing has actually made things so much better.
Yeah.
Because it turns
AI.
out NVIDIA cares about
Well,
where the money comes
it turns
from.
out.
It turns out. That
turns
is
out,
always
yeah.
the case.
That was a big surprise for us.
But
us
when-
Linuses. What you
Yeah, it's always pretty surprising because lately, like, NVIDIA's now supporting about Linux is actually very interesting because of the AI and stuff. And yeah, because like Linux is just like very fast and just efficient and performance, and they usually just wanted to make they now try to finally make some upgrades about that. And I'm actually like happy. I would love to like have NVIDIA graphics card when it comes to my PC someday, but unfortunately today I'm just using a laptop, and because I would love to like have something like this fast and efficient
didn't
like type of computer.
choose was the classic Linux, which is a Radeon card. You specifically requested an Intel Arc, which is going to raise at least a few eyebrows into a shape like a...
Yeah, because even like a lot of like Git code that I'm trying to like use and about AI and stuff, they usually don't like support like they don't support like Intel and stuff. They kind of like forgot about it. Like the most common is like either AMD or NVIDIA. This is actually kind of struggle for me because I use an Intel based like laptop. So majority of like other Git codes or Git projects don't even like work.
Arc. Thanks, Elijah. You know what? Let's keep you. Let's put you on the boat with two of these. You didn't choose
actually want to see
was
that.
the classic Linux, which is a Radeon card. You specifically requested an Intel Arc, which is going to raise at least a few eyebrows into a shape like a Arc. Thanks, Elijah. You know what? Let's keep you. Let's put you on the boat with two of everything.
Oh, the Arc!
Yeah, let's go!
Wow, it never ends.
According to Wikipedia, back in 2006, a little outdated, it was estimated that your code was about 2% of the Linux kernel.
Oh yeah.
If you had to guess now, or if you know, What percentage would you say it is today?
The first version of Linux was like 10,000 lines. I'm sure I've written code since then, but there's been thousands of people involved, and what I do these days is I don't write code. Sometimes I write code snippets and send them out as emails and saying something like this, in the hopes that somebody else will then write the final tested code and send it back to me.
Hey, that's another thing Linuses do, is send crappy, incomplete emails for other people to do the work.
Yeah, no, that's my life. Lines of code is not something you should ever attribute any importance to.
Yeah.
So like when we have 5 million lines of code for hardware
5 million lines.
descriptions, they're actually generated from the literal hardware descriptions that AMD uses to do their card.
What's more important is your Linus of codes. And we have one of those.
The fans, they keep on coming.
There was a recent thing from a major tech company where developers were asked to say how many lines of code they wrote, and if it wasn't enough, they were terminated. Okay. And there was someone here that was extremely upset about that approach to measuring productivity because
you shouldn't even be
nothing.
upset. At that point, that's just incompetence. Anybody who thinks that's a valid metric is too stupid to work at a tech company.
You do know who you just said that about, right?
No.
Oh, he was a prominent figure in the improved efficiency of the U.S. government recently.
Oh, apparently I was spot on.
Is this up to your standards if I just kind of get these strapped down here? Are we good? Is it Scandinavian enough?
No.
Bro, he's so fucking chat and so fucking wise too. He's so wise and what a chat, man.
I have somebody to blame. If somebody ever makes fun of my machine, I I had nothing to do with it.
Oh, well, that's a lot of pressure.
It was Linus's fault.
Yeah, nice.
Damn, that didn't work.
You were traveling just before this trip. How often do you get to travel for your line of work?
Or have to.
Yeah, whoever wrote that question doesn't realize that it's not get to travel. It's a pain. 1 year, fairly early on, I was counting the days I was away from home, and I was away more than half the year. And that's also the year I decided never again. And this must have been 30 years ago. This is when I was still living in Finland. I don't enjoy traveling for work. These days, at least, I travel in business class so that if I do the long overseas ones, I can lay flat and try to sleep through flights. That makes it bearable, but it doesn't make it fun. I don't tend to enjoy big cities. I mean, some of them are interesting. I still enjoy going to Tokyo for some, I don't know why. Tokyo is one of those cities that, even as a big city, is actually...
It's got so much character.
Yes, it does things differently.
So this question was supposed to transition us into saying thank you so much for coming up here.
To the big city of Vancouver.
Well, no, but I was blown away when we arranged for this, and I was ready to move heaven
I thought they were like doxing themselves right there.
and earth and bring everything to you, and you were just like, oh yeah, well, no, I mean, I guess I'll just come up to you guys. That blew my mind.
But it makes so much more sense. And honestly, as I told fake Linus here, I actually enjoy doing something different.
He compared this experience to a pre-Academy Awards dinner gala thing, as well as flying in a fighter jet.
Well, I didn't compare this to that.
You mentioned those things.
In the same sentence?
Yes. No, it is one of the things I have enjoyed as part of Linux, has been that I've been able to do things that most people don't get to do, right?
I saw the 6-7 there.
And most
being a
people don't
YouTube
get to come and have fake Linus build a computer for them.
That's right.
So this is actually fun.
It sounds like, please don't sound like you have a gun to your head off camera.
No.
No, I love it. I love it. Honestly, that would be if we didn't still have a lot to do, that would be like the best final line of the video.
This was fun.
This is one people wanted. Linus or Linus?
So if you speak Swedish to me, it's Linus.
Oh, okay.
first safeguard and best taking first aid.
Oh no, I did it. Oh shit. And he's gonna leave.
What?
That's okay. The video can be building 65% of a computer with Linus Torvalds.
When I moved to the U.S. and started speaking English, I started saying Linus.
Even coming over here and interacting with English-speaking people, most of them don't know how to pronounce our name anyway. So if you have to...
I don't pronounce Linux rather than Linus. Linux? Linux? Oh my god. That's like a very weird. Linux. Ooh. I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of like it. Linux. Rather than Linux. Linux is more very fast and very tight-lipped rather than Linux. Linux is very, very suave, very for expression. Linux. I would actually want to say that more. I use Linux, by the way.
To correct them anyway.
Oh, but I don't want to correct them. Like,
Oh, I see.
I don't go by Torvalds because nobody can pronounce Torvalds. Don't even try. Right.
What after I spoke such fluent Swedish? Before coming into this, did you know anything or did you search anything about my personal Linux hijinks that I've experienced?
Why are the two columns open source and installed?
Yeah, he probably like destroyed his own like Pop OS and
So
stuff.
I consciously did not search after. I mean, I've heard of you. I made fun of the fact that I knew all the other YouTubers, but yes, I knew of you and I'd seen videos of you. But at the same time, I did not want to come in here having researched the hardware or researched you.
I have accidentally deleted my entire GUI without realizing what I was doing.
Yeah, he deleted his GUI from his Pop OS and he turned into the Manjaro stuff. I didn't actually know Manjaro was like Arch. I thought it was like an Ubuntu-based like system.
That was something.
I've done that.
And I have to type yes.
Oh, really? I didn't know like the father of all Linux also deleted his GUI.
Do as I say in order to install it. And maybe it will install and launch now.
Yeah.
What is the point of having a... Oh,
I managed to completely brick an install, trying to do something as simple as install Steam.
what are you talking about? I've done nothing with this other than install that hard info thing.
How did this line up with your expectations for today?
I didn't really have a lot of expectations. I'm not saying the expectations were low. I'm saying they were non-existent. It's like I didn't know
which is much
what to
better.
expect. Right. You're a groundbreaking YouTuber. That's what the message here is. You are changing the world.
That's a
Hell yeah.
great soundbite. Let's just do the whole video with just that. See?
Yeah.
Okay, so
15 seconds.
So this is basically on you now, because if you give a
And my cheeks are like hurting for smiling a lot and laughing about this video. I'm enjoying this video, man.
reporter a soundbite like that, obviously they're going to cut all the rest of the part where they say they had literally
And my cheeks are really, really like hurting from all the smiling.
zero expectations of you.
Maybe that's why there's so little video of me, because people decided, yep, we're better off without this.
Do you want to do the honors? Here we go.
Let me get it.
Don't miss it. You missed it. There's a fan rubbing. Elijah!
You closed the side panel, sir.
I cursed it when I closed the side panel. I knew it.
That's
should've
that
known better.
gentle whooshing sound you asked for, right?
No. It's like a cat purring in your lap.
When we tested it,
Or a pussy.
it was not making that sound, so I am blaming you building it.
Wait, I see it.
It is the fan
It
cave.
fell out of the little cable management groove. We got this. Everything is fine. Everything is saved. 64 gigs of RAM, all showing up. That's a good sign. That means all of our pads are contacting the pins in the motherboard socket.
Okay, try with the XMP profile enabled. Just try it. See, here you were.
Living on the wild side. Hit us with a rapid fire question.
This one on our Reddit got almost 100 upvotes. What do you prefer? Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo Switch?
We don't have an Xbox. We do have a PlayStation. I don't think it's been turned on in a year, because it gets turned on for Christmas when the kids come back to town and they play whatever they play.
It's actually kind of sweet, like having like family like that to just like all of them like play around, challenge themselves. I would love to have like a family someday to like enjoy like playing games and those stuff, and hopefully like afford like gaming consoles to begin with.
A Little Big Planet and something else. We had a Nintendo. I think we had the Wii U, The odd one, right? The one.
So I am very competitive though, so I'm gonna crush all of my children.
Yeah, that'd be the Wii U.
Yeah, and to be fair, I've played games too. What's the shoot the dinosaurs game?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I actually like that a lot.
Here's something cool. Horizon Zero Dawn was the first game I played all the way through on Linux.
Oh, it works on Linux now.
Sure does.
Okay. Yeah,
Let's go.
Interesting.
nobody does the test the media. That takes forever.
These are the real tech tips. The real Linus tech tips right here. Let's go. Do you want to install Fedora?
Oh,
Fedora is still your distro of choice?
No, I mean, I can do the heavy lifting and press that button. Thank you.
Well, I would hate to.
Actually, I'm like confused about that because Fedora, there are like I never heard some. There are some like concerns about like Fedora and stuff, and like OS. This is why I'm also like trying to use like Linux Mint and stuff because I also heard like a very weird corporation stuff when it comes to like Ubuntu too. It's kind of very fascinating that he used Fedora for some reason. I don't know, like there's something like under the kernel from Fedora that is like improved and stuff.
Step on your Linux installation.
But I do like how balanced like Fedora is from like the older Ubuntu like side or the Debian side, or in the like the cutting edge when it comes to like the Arch side, you know.
This is presumed.
But I don't know like what's also the difference when it comes to like Fedora and OpenSUSE in this case, you know,
Presumably
or SUSE.
a newer version than whatever I installed last time.
Why Fedora?
They've been very closely aligned to kernel developers. They made things easier. Like Ubuntu very much wanted to be like a consumer-oriented thing. And in the process, when I tried it many, many years ago, they literally made it hard for me to upgrade the kernel because that was not their target audience. So I said, yeah, this is not for me, clearly. But
why not Arch too? Like if you could like use Arch, the Arch side.
fine. And at the same time, there are the really tech-oriented ones where,
By the way.
by the way,
Yeah.
really?
It's a
thing.
It's a meme.
Oh,
They'll get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't get it. It doesn't get it. This is why I love like when it comes to people don't understand a joke and you just make a joke about them and they don't get it. It's actually very funny because you know you get it, but they don't get it. And then you're just like laughing and they're just like smiling, it's like confused. It's so funny.
they'll get it. I don't. Where you compile your own everything, you compile your own distro.
Yeah, I would love to use Arch, by the way. But unfortunately I don't use. I use Linux Mint.
And
But I do use NeoVim, by the way. Yes, I use NeoVim.
again, that was not geared for me because I don't care about anything else than the kernel. So the only thing I want to compile is my own kernel. So I want a distro that just installs and just works, and the only thing I will replace is actually the kernel.
Follow-up question to that then, that
Interesting.
was on the Reddit, was do you think that
But what's the difference when it comes to Arch though? Like in like compiling and other stuff.
the advantage of having a million different distros out there is also a disadvantage for Linux because there's so many options out there?
Right. I mean, I think the fragmentation has been a huge disadvantage over the years. If you're a commercial software developer,
Actually, I disagree on that. I actually love the fragmentation and stuff. Like, I guess there are cases where people are just confused on what they want to use. But I love like the diversity when it comes to all of those and just the protection when it comes to the fragmentation and stuff. So there actually is some advantage about that. And there, I guess I can see like the disadvantage when it comes to like big businesses and stuff.
you don't have one target, you have multiple targets.
There's also like a problem when it comes to like application stuff. Like you have to use like virtualized apps when it comes to like Flatpak and like Snap. I was actually like shocked when I use Snap like packages and stuff, and I don't know they're actually virtualized. So my audio, the audio when it comes to like stuff, because they can't connect because the apps are just virtualized, like they're just separate from the system. So yeah, I actually experienced that kind of weird problem.
And it's clearly held things back. At the same time, I mean, having the wild, wild west kind of thing has its own advantages, and I think the open source community has worked very well in this environment. It just hasn't worked for everybody. I think all the major distros are very aware that it's a problem, and they would want to have a more unified like distribution, but at the same time, they all want that unified distribution to be their unified distribution. So
Yes.
Anytime the topic of I want to set up a Linux computer comes up, what should I pick? And I don't think you could find two people that will ever give the same answer.
Yeah, Zorin, Ubuntu, Linux Mint, Elementary. I actually, if I actually ask, there are like beginners out there and just using like Windows and they want to transform. Actually, I suggest like Zorin. Zorin is good, and Linux Mint. Either these two or Pop OS. Pop OS is also very solid. Ubuntu, I don't know about Ubuntu. It is pretty solid. It's also like have a lot of community support, so it's easy for you to like find fixes. But I kind of like always concerned about like their past and histories and stuff. So this is why I also don't like Ubuntu that much. So your choice is either Zorin OS, Pop, or Linux Mint. If I were to choose anything for people like highly suggested, it would be like Zorin OS. The second would be Linux Mint. I've been just use Linux Mint because it's pretty advanced. Like I can like change anything because I choose the minimal stuff, so I can change it to like I actually tried to change like the DE from it, like the desktop environment. So they're pretty fun, like experimenting when it comes to Linux Mint minimal. I didn't download the Cinnamon or the Mate version because I want to like have a very minimal stuff and I can like experiment a lot of stuff about it. I didn't actually know like there's like you can experience error. I actually learned it from other YouTube videos that some people can actually experience errors when it comes to like changing their desktop environment when it comes to like Cinnamon or Mat. It's actually very interesting. I don't know about like Elementary OS though.
Immediate flame war.
It immediately becomes an argument.
I never like even heard a lot of like people use Elementary OS instead of like, just looking, I guess, a bit minimal and amazing or like very good UI. But yeah, those are the only three things that I can like suggest, I guess, for absolute beginners out there.
So
I think it's part of the open source history too.
Yeah.
We've had flame wars over editors. Those kind of died out. You have to have something that you believe passionately.
So now that you've said Fedora, though, this is the only one that anyone's ever allowed to install again, right?
Right. Now, when I'm emperor and king of the world,
It will be Fedora.
that will be.
Should we figure out this install
Interesting.
thing?
We can try flashing another drive.
For me, if I were to choose, I'm pretty sure I don't use Fedora, but I did try Fedora. Like I tried Fedora, I tried Ubuntu, I tried Kubuntu. I never actually, I touched like, no, I think it was Endeavor OS, which is an Arch-based system. Those are the only, I think, OS that I only like tried. I really want to try like Mint and Casio OS as like my main. Like I love those things. They have beautiful colors. Green and blue is like my favorite color, and cyan sometimes too. But yeah, I really love to like try Casio OS out.
If you want.
I do think that maybe that is updating.
To me, it's like I don't get why Fedora though. Like to me, I really want to use an OS if there's like a reason for it. That is why I also choose like Linux because it's just stable and it just works. That if I can use it forever, why you need to use other things. But when it comes to Casio OS, I really love like how efficient, very snappy, and very fast it is. And I love like those two things come together. So those are like two of my favorite OS I would love to try out. But I didn't try Casio OS yet. But I really love like how it is designed to be fast and efficient. So yeah, that like catches my eyes and all that
Just
stuff.
can't tell if it's moving.
So then what I'll let you do is
Yeah, do you want to show us how it's done here?
please,
It's your operating system.
by all means.
This has never been more true than right now in this moment.
Well, let's 43 live ISO sounds about right.
Ooh, that would be very interesting. Like they have like a test operating system about Linux. I wonder like what he will get. I never actually tried this like test before.
I also don't know how to flash that image under Windows, so you're
Okay.
you're on your own
Okay,
there.
well, you-
I did the hard lifting here by
Are you okay.
pressing the
No.
download
That's a
button.
lot of pressure. What's your number one tech tip
He doesn't know.
that you give people?
I don't give people tech tips because, I mean, I sit in my office reading email, and if somebody asks me over email for tech tips, I won't answer that. I mean, that's not the kind of questions
Do you think
I
they're
feel.
emailing the wrong guy?
Yeah,
You can forward it to me if you want.
yeah, right.
Install Fedora. Boom.
Oh, he crazy as a fox.
Wow. To be fair, the other Linus did touch it in between. So I think that
Probably cured it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Do you encrypt your disk?
I will encrypt, but not this time around.
Got it. Right.
Yeah.
I should keep this drive, because then I might have a Linux install that isn't cursed. I can't believe it took me this long to work up the courage to ask. I can't believe you responded in like 15 minutes or whatever it was.
Well, that's actually a rule for me.
Really?
I either respond almost immediately or you won't get a response at all. I don't leave stuff in my compost pile of a mailbox.
That's something you guys don't have in common.
No, I use my inbox as like a never-ending garbage to-do list. I like that a lot. Okay.
Interesting.
How do you?
I might add that someday if I'm busy when it comes to like emails and stuff. I would not read emails. I would like listen to like emails. I would love like have something like an AI and stuff to read the emails for me. It's like if it's something catch my eye, it's like wait a minute, that email is actually very interesting. Like I would love to like reply on that, and I would love to like have this type of like email workflow and stuff. It would be very, very interesting.
do it. Location services on or off?
I'm okay. So my approach to privacy has been that I'm so public that the more I can poison that well, the better off I am. Don't try to be worried about something. Just give it all out and be so uninteresting that nobody cares.
What would be?
Interesting. To me, it's like I'm really like afraid when it comes to those stuff because I don't like revealing a lot of like my other stuff because I love a lot of stuff and I would love to keep some stuff of that private. So yeah, even though like there are cases where you have nothing to hide, if you just have stuff, I just want to like keep some stuff private.
Some of the first things that you would set up?
I love to make like some codes too that I can like hopefully own and I can like share to people, but hopefully not all of the the Googles and stuff out there and like the targeted ads gonna be very, very annoying.
I have my own background, which is not quite as cartoonish as this. It's just a photo I took, a nighttime photo.
Is there any chance that we could get that background to share with people? Oh, you don't have to. There's no pressure or anything, but
I probably have it on my phone. I can send it to somebody.
and then if
I wonder like what his phone is or like what Android OS it is. Or maybe it's graphene.
anyone wants to get the official Linus desktop wallpaper,
Do you have Android phones so that you get full resolution?
If you don't know, friends, like if you want to see like my wallpaper is basically just this. That's my wallpaper. This is like my favorite wallpaper of all time. Doesn't give you a lot of bliss. You're either bliss or you're blessed.
Photos?
you better believe it.
Okay.
So that was one of the questions, was iPhone or Android, and is there like because it's has Linux as its backbone philosophical approach to choosing?
I mean,
or-
obviously part of it. Yeah, no.
Kind of like wonder like what is the iPhone's like kernel and stuff, since Android is like part of like Linux. I wonder like what's the equivalent when it comes to like iPhone.
Part of it is also I got free phones for a while. People send me stuff.
That's something we have in common.
Yeah. So, and Apple never sent me a free phone for some strange reason.
We have that in common too. Apple doesn't like me.
Oh, okay.
We had one final question for you.
Has mainstream acceptance of Linux become more important to you, or is it enough that everyone's using it whether they know it or not?
I actually don't even care. The whole enough that they use it, I don't care. I care deeply about users in the sense that a project that doesn't have users is pointless, right?
Right.
So users do give any project, and my projects in particular, then meaning in that sense. But at the same
Interesting.
time, if you don't use Linux, that's again your bad choice. I don't. It's that's not on me. As long as there are enough users that what I do is meaningful and not just some mental masturbation, I'm fine.
And you know what I won't feel bad if you don't use? This product or service from our sponsor.
Oh god, I guess that's where the end of the video. I guess, or is there more videos? Okay, so there's still.
And realize that there's one way through,
Vast.
and all in one solution, yes, it's true. Listen when I say that all you gotta do is do.
This was amazing. This
Okay.
vastly exceeded my expectations. This was so cool.
I never actually watched like Linus Tech Tips from their video, but I did I did watch that how he like destroyed his own like Linux and stuff, like the Pop OS GUI and stuff. But when it comes to this, these are like the only stuff that I kind of like watched from them.
Thank you so much on behalf of me, my team, the audience. I think you guys leave some love down in the comments below, please.
I mean, this was odd for me.
And I've been enjoying this like video, man. My cheeks are hurting from smiling a lot.
I've enjoyed it. Let's hope I enjoy it after I read the comments too.
Yeah, be nice.
Yeah, the comments are gonna be amazing, man. There's nothing better in YouTube than the comment section. Sometimes, you know.
Be nice, you guys.
I do have to say, I mean, one of the things, having done this for 35 plus years, you learn to have a thick skin. I probably had a thick skin to begin with, but I get a lot of hate too. I mean, you said I'm universally loved. No.
Well, what I meant is,
interesting.
throughout the universe, there are people
Like who hates like Linus Torvalds? What the fuck?
that love you.
Yeah.
Not that all of them do.
If you search the whole universe, you are bound to find somebody.
Interesting. That's a very beautiful video. I like very enjoy it from that, friends. What an amazing journey, man! Learning from the myth, the man, the legend himself, Linus Torvalds. God damn, the grandfather of Linux stuff, or the father in this case. So there's like confusing stuff. But yeah, friends, like you kind of like learn a lot of like stuff when it comes to this. I really been using like a Linux, even though like here in the Philippines it's not very common. I even like convinced one of my friends to even like use Linux and stuff, and he installed it in his like very old like laptop and stuff. It's only like 2 gigabytes of like RAM. It's actually a very crazy like laptop that still use like Linux in this case. And he did install like Linux. He installed like Linux Mint 2 from that case, and it's also the same as like my Linux and stuff. Like just used from the XFCE desktop environment, so it's just very fast for his like type of PC, and it usually like worked. He was actually very proud of it. Like when he uses it, like he really lambasted and hated Windows after that, because he can never install like Linux on his like very old laptop. But the good thing is like he can use it now and code from it. Like he been using like projects and stuff too. We're not friends unfortunately, but he just like, because we're in a different section of like, you know, schooling and stuff, we're not like always group each other in one section. There's like a different like schooling stuff, so it's like very fascinating. Like he's been loving Linux too, Linux Mint, and we always both have a problem. We're always called like the hackers. There's always like this like notion, I guess, for all Linux users to be hackers and stuff, and that's not always true, man. But yeah, it's just a very clean, very fast, very informative. I really love like Linux. When it comes to installed here, I actually very love Linux. That I've been like learning a lot of stuff about like technology and stuff, and even the open source community is like absolutely amazing, and like get to like that's very fascinating like can of worms on its own. But yeah, friends, that's actually a very amazing video. I never like enjoyed like a video like this. So yeah, friends, thank you for watching and good evening.